Hey, everybody. Thank you. These are all my relatives. These aren't fans. That's my Uncle Jack. That's my boss from when I worked at Kroger. Yeah, no, these are all plants. Studio plants to make the person look and sound good. Yeah, no. Well, okay, so let's go back. So he and I, we used to run into each other at the Comedy Store. You were working the door, not very well, by the way, because you let me in all the time without paying. And then we would go out afterwards, and you weren't drinking at the time. You were you were focused. I mean, it's what got you this. It's why you have a show. You were always more focused than I was, and way more mature, and a deep thinker. And then you picked up drinking again 5 years later, and we had a lot more fun, and you stopped thinking so much. It was great. Yeah, it was great. Projects, yeah. Projects. Remember when we used to do that? It was like projects. It was this idea that when we both moved to LA, okay, you move to town and it's like billboards everywhere you look. So you walk outside and it's like, this guy's got a pilot. This girl's starring in this movie. This person has a Dior ad. This person's selling a watch. And so we had this joke where when we felt like we were sucking at life and we felt like we weren't doing anything, we would just go, projects. I need projects. We got everybody saying it. So yeah, good man. Just been on the road, very busy. Hence the promotional of. No, we're here to hang out too. No, I came to hang out with you for sure. Not promote a movie. The movie is called Silk Road. I did this film. Silk Road was this thing that this guy Ross Ulbricht created, and essentially he was selling drugs over the internet, and it went undetected. So imagine buying magic mushrooms on Amazon.com, Amazon Prime. That's kind of what this guy did, and the film kind of catalogs his creation of Silk Road, this thing that blew up, and he made all this money, but then he, spoiler alert, yeah, he got busted, yeah. And for me, it was in and out, you know. I'm not starring in the movie. This isn't a starring role, but I should be. That's very nice of you to say. Yeah, I think a guy like me, I think I'm always going to be doing supporting characters. And then if somebody asks me to do a lead, obviously that's flattering and that's cool. And I want to do some version in Richard Jewell. Yeah. Thank you. How is Clint Eastwood? Yeah. He's intense, but he's not. He's equal parts calming and also, you know, emboldening. You want to show up, you know, he's like a big presence. You want to show up for the coach, you know. They used to say about Chris Farley back in Chicago, Farley could be out partying all night or goofing off with friends, show up half drunk, covered in sweat, unshowered, and people would look at him like, I don't even know if he can get on stage right now. But he would get up and he would tear it up at Second City or something and give one of the greatest performances anybody had ever seen. And they'd go, Chris, how'd you even pull that off? And he'd say, the coach was here. And the coach was, of course, his teacher, Del Close. So for me, you know, I had the same thing of no matter how I was feeling, you know, Clint Eastwood is behind the monitor. So it's like you wanna show up for coach. You want to show off for a guy like that. Yeah. Right. Oh, yeah. No, it was, yeah, I wasn't nominated for Richard Jewell, but we were at the parties and the award season stuff. Correct. I saw you at, it's so weird. That's such an LA thing. I saw you at Elton John's Oscar party. That happened, though. Yeah. It was a big deal for me. It's a big deal to get to go to Elton John's Oscar party. It was crazy. Yeah, so basically, I'm at Elton John's Oscar party with my buddy Ricky Russert, who played the guy who whacked Kerrigan's leg in I, Tonya. Thank you. You don't have to applaud every time I mention a thing I've done. That feels cheap. You don't have to. You're like, yes, I see the applaud sign. There are literal applause signs. You have to obey them. It's very 1984, very Orwellian of you. We're at the party. Me and my buddy Ricky, we're walking around feeling like idiots at a big shot event, obviously. But what happens is, and I couldn't believe this weird moment. We run into Tommy Wiseau from The Room. Not the Brie Larson thing where she's like, this guy took me captive. The Room, the movie that's like the worst movie ever, but the greatest worst movie ever. So Tommy Wiseau is there, and I say to him, I go, hey man, just want to say congrats on Disaster Artist. I love The Room, etc. And he goes, oh, hey, what other parties are you going to? And I'm like, I think we might go to the Vanity Fair party or the Vogue party, whatever V thing, variety. And he goes, oh, yeah, are you on the list? And I'm like, I'm not really on the list. My friend is on the list, so maybe we'll try to get into the party. And Tommy goes, oh, yeah, get your friend to let us in. We'll all go there together. And I was like, basically, Tommy Wiseau is trying to get me to get him into like a party. And at that time, I could have technically had the driver like pick us up and then show up to a random party without being on the list. And I'm like, yeah, the fat guy from my Tiny and Tommy Wiseau, we'd like to come into the Vanity Fair. Oh my gosh. It was too much. It was too funny. But nights like that happen. That's the weird thing is, yeah, and you've been to... Exactly. Yes. It's a little bit like Hollywood parties are kind of like a Mad Lib where you just show up somewhere and you're just like, there's an insertion of things that feel dreamlike where you're like, yes, so I was eating, and then the Mad Lib would be plural noun. You're like, I was eating coconut shrimp, wearing a tuxedo that didn't fit, when all of a sudden Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray tapped me on the shoulder. That's essentially a Hollywood party. It's basically a fucked up Mad Lib. Oh, grocery. Okay, you can bleep it. Okay, yeah. Right. Okay, so that's how we'll go to break. Okay, so we'll end on what is the Mad Lib for you and I next time we're at a Hollywood party. It's gonna be. I was at the urinal at the Four Seasons Hotel when Jammy Fimmle assaulted me. Yeah, essentially. Yeah. While eating coconut shrimp. We're bringing the coconut shrimp back.